Hello, and thank you for joining me this afternoon for a quick demonstration of Lightning productivity features. And as you've probably noticed, we are not in the Lightning experience. We are actually here in Classic. And that's because I wanted to show you this link here at the top. And this link is how your users will get access to Lightning Experience once they've been given the Lightning Experience system permission. So your users can get this Lightning Experience system permission in 3 ways once you've enabled Lightning in your org. First, if your user is on a standard profile. Standard profiles come with the Lightning Experience user system permission enabled by default. Second, if your user is on a custom experience where the admin has turned on the Lightning Experience system permission, they will have access to that switcher. And the third way is if they get access to that system permission via a permission set. So those are 3 ways to get access to the Switch to Lightning Experience link. If they are on a custom profile that does not have the Lightning Experience user system permission, they will not have access to the switcher and they will remain in Classic. Once your user has access to the switcher, all they need to do is just click this link, Switch to Lightning Experience, and they can hop right on over to Lightning Experience. And if they ever need to switch back to Classic for any reason, they just click on their profile picture and then return to Classic using the Switch to Classic link at the bottom. So right here, we are now in Lightning Experience and we are on the home page. So the home page has been completely reimagined in the Lightning Experience, and it's much more useful page than it was in Classic. If you're like me, in Classic, I tend to just skip over that home page. It was very static, it wasn't very customizable, and I just didn't find it a useful way to organize my work. On the other hand, I love the home page in Lightning Experience. It can be completely customized to meet the needs of a particular user via their profile. So here I have a home page for a fundraiser. I have a donation dashboard at the top with some quick overview metrics of our fundraising so far this year. I have my recent records right here. I've got some recommendations from Einstein I can follow up on. I also have some key deals I'm working on right now. And then at the bottom I have today's events. Those come from my calendar, and today's task that comes from the task. And both events and tasks now have their own tab in Lightning. So to check your events, you can check on the calendar tab and then tasks, and then look and organize those from there. And this is just a quick snapshot here on the home page. If I scroll back up, I'll see something looks pretty familiar across the top. These are my tabs that represent my objects in Salesforce that I have access to. One thing I don't see the switcher on the top where I could move between apps. And I don't see that plus sign that was at the top of my tabs in Classic. Both those have been brought together over here with these circles. This is called the app launcher, and if we click on that and open it up, we'll see all of our apps right here on the top, and I can actually drag and drop these as a user and just make them put them in an order that makes sense to me according to the work I need to do. And then all my tabs are just down at the bottom in alphabetical order. And I can just scroll through and find them, or I can use this search bar at the top to locate something more quickly if I know what I'm looking for. So either way, that works. Another thing I can do with global search is search. So I'm going to type in United. And global search surfaces 5 likely records. And what it's looking for is prioritizing the objects that I use most often. So I have account, donation, and contact in this case, and records I've touched recently if I've touched any of them. So I've got United here, and I can pick one of those. I can just click to it right from here if I want. Another thing I can do if I want to even drill down further, I can just filter by a certain object. So here I want to click on United, and now I'll only see accounts. So I want to pick United Partners here. And this brings me to the Lightning record page for United Partners. So at the top, I have my highlights panel. This is driven from the compact layout on the object. So I've got a few key fields here where my users can just see at a glance without having to scroll through a lot of details, some metrics that they're likely to need very quickly on a record. We have a component here. It's a potential duplicates. That's not set up in this organization, but I could set up some matching rules if I wanted. And then down here we have our details, and this comes from the page layout on the object. So here's just all my sections and fields, just as I'm used to seeing on an account record. And then nestled behind there, I have my related lists. And these are in the same order as my related lists on my page layout. And then I have another tab here that we've added where I can upload Quip documents right from here. And then on the right-hand side, we have our activity panel. So I can create new tasks, email, log a call from here, as well as see upcoming tasks and past activities, emails, etc. And I've got some chatter actions as well. And one of the great things about Lightning is that you can add favorites. So in the past, if you really wanted to refer to a particular record often, you ended up having to bookmark it in a browser, which just didn't feel that like the most efficient way to organize your frequently used records. So instead, we've added favorites. So I can just favorite United Partners. And then if I take a look at my favorites, I see all my favorites, and I can even go in and edit them. I can move United Partners up to the top if I want by dragging and dropping. And I can even edit. So if you have an auto-numbered record, such as a case, maybe this isn't very informative. So I could rename this my big case, and so that I could refer to it more easily and identify it more easily. Just keep in mind, this is only reflected in your favorites. I'm not actually editing anything on the underlying record. So I can click done there. And then also at the top, we have a plus sign, and this brings up my global actions. So anywhere I am working in Lightning Experience, I can quickly open up my global actions, draft a quick email, log a call, etc. So if I click on this email, I get my email interface here. I can even expand it if I want to make it a little bit bigger. And I have a contact who works at United Partners. Her name is Belle Evers. And I want to touch base with her about an upcoming adoption fair that we've talked about. She is going to host it at United Partners. So I want to quickly touch base. I want to call your attention to one cool feature. It's called Quick Text. I can insert that. I'm going to insert that right now. And then I say, do any of the following times work for our meeting? And I'll just say Tuesday or Thursday at 5. I can even add a picture if I want. I can do rich text formatting, etc. And I can even save this as a template if I want to. If this is an email I'm going to be drafting frequently. And then I can relate it to other records. So I'm going to relate this to United Partners, and then I'll click send. So now if I go to Belle's record, and I think actually she's one of my favorites. Oh, there she is. And I scroll down, I'll see my email here on my past activities, and I even have the email status. I can see it has not been opened yet, whereas the email I sent her yesterday has been opened. Another great Lightning productivity feature is our enhanced navigation. So if you're used to Classic, you click on an object tab and it brings up a list view with your most recently viewed items from that object. So in this case, donations. And if I want to, I can pick a different list view like that. I have my open major gifts. A big ask on the idea exchange was to be able to create a default list view besides recently viewed. And now in Lightning Experience you can. So see this push pin right here? I just click that. And then if I scroll away to accounts and I scroll back to donations, now the list view that I pinned will appear as my default. So that is a big win in Lightning Experience. Another thing you can do in Lightning Experience is to adjust your column widths. So I can move this. I can either choose to clip or wrap my text. So maybe I want to wrap my text so I can see my entire donation name here. I could make this one a little wider, make this one a little wider. Just make those all look a little bit better. I can sort by clicking on my column headers. And I can even search here. So I can just go right here, search for a particular opportunity, and that'll bring it up if I know what I'm searching for. Another great thing about Lightning Experience is the way that we visualize data. So what we're looking at here and what we're used to looking at in Classic is what we call the table view. We also have access to a Kanban view. So if we click on that, we see our same opportunities, but now they're organized by a pick list that we've selected. So in this case, we're working on donations, so I pick stage, which makes a lot of sense for opportunities. And then the total number of amount of opportunities is summarized here at the top. And I can customize that if I want using my Kanban settings. I can pick a different pick list field. I could summarize by a different field. A great thing about this, though, is that I can actually update my opportunities just by dragging and dropping. So if I've moved an opportunity here from proposal to verbal commitment, I just drag and drop it over. And then I can even change one from verbal commitment to awarded, like that. And everything will be updated. One thing to keep in mind is if you do have validation rules, your user will not be able to move a card forward unless the validation rule has been met. So a little bit of peace of mind there. Another thing that we have access to both on the table and on the Kanban view is a chart. So I can look at my data as a chart instead. I've got pipeline by fiscal period, pipeline by stage. And I've got this as a donut right here, and I've got some other options as well, vertical bar chart and horizontal bar chart. Another thing I want to show you today are our newly reimagined dashboards in Lightning Experience. So if I go to my dashboards tab and click on that, and click on my dashboard name, major giving, it'll bring up a dashboard that looks very similar to Classic, just a little bit updated in its styling, but pretty similar. 3 components across the top in equal sizes, and then we scroll down as far as we need to in our dashboard. But in Lightning, it works a little differently. So I'm going to click Edit. And what I can do is actually resize components and make them work better for the component type. So for our top donations, I'd really like to see all of them. So I'm going to just drag this and make it a bit wider. I think my gauge component looks pretty good. I'm fine with that. And I have a leaderboard here at the bottom that is really squashed. So I'm going to make that both wider and taller. Just scroll down a little bit here. and just bring that down another square in my grid. Oops, doesn't want to go. Just scroll down a bit more. There we go. Now that looks better. And I'll just leave these three as is for now. And I am going to save. And now I'd like to share this with my team. So if I click done, I can actually click on here and chatter about this dashboard right from here. So if I want to, I can just say, hi, Ben, take a look at the dashboard. And then this will be shared with him according to his preferences. He could get a notification up here or an email, etc. But I can get even more granular than that. I can actually go directly into a particular component and I can share it from there if I want to. And another thing I can do, if I need to, is download a component. And this is something I just learned recently. I can actually just click through all my components and view them almost like a slideshow. So this is a really handy feature if you are presenting on a call and you really need your the other meeting participants to focus in on a particular component that you're discussing, so they can really see it and you can drill down. This is a great feature. We also have some additional styling options here. We can rename our dashboard if we want and show where we view it as we'd expect. We can also toggle between 9 and 12 columns. I've got 9 here, but I could make this even wider. And I can even choose themes by color and dark and light. So check those out. Those will really make your dashboards pop. And then I want to show you quickly our last demo of our lightning report. So let me just save this here and I can click into my underlying report and we'll just take a quick look at the lightning report builder. So one thing I can do, lightning experience, is easily add a chart to my report. And I can even choose another format display if I want. I want to look at this as a donut, for example. I can do that. And then another thing I can do is easily add a grouping to my report. So I have donation record type on this, on my x-axis, and then I can even group my columns. So I could just say lead source, etc. I can quickly turn my summary report into a matrix report on the fly. And then if I click into an individual cell, that'll bring up the detail rows underneath, which is really handy if you just want to quickly click through and get a handle on your report data without exporting or doing any other formatting. And then if I want to, I can just clear that really quickly. And then in the filters, you see all the filters you'd expect. You can change those if you want. The Lightning Report Builder is one of the things users really love. It's just so much more intuitive than Classic and really a great thing to bring to your users. I hope that this overview of productivity features in Lightning Experience has been helpful, and good luck as you make the transition to Lightning Experience in your organization.